Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a closer look at a specific piece, the new Yema Granvelle CMM.20 architectural watch.
Yeah, saw the release. Interesting design.
We've got the details here, and our goal is really to unpack it, understand the design choices, the history, the mechanics.
Okay, let's start with the name Granvelle. That immediately jumps out. It's got historical weight, hasn't it?
It absolutely does. It points directly to the Granvelle Palace in Besançon.
Right, the 16th century Renaissance building.
Exactly. And it now houses the Museum of Time. So Yema isn't being subtle here. They're linking this very modern watch straight back to French horological tradition.
It's a statement piece in that sense, setting a tone.
Definitely. Now, the description mentions a blend of vintage dress watch aesthetics, but with modern structural reinterpretation. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, I think it means they're taking those classic, elegant lines you expect from a dress watch, but updating how the case is built, the finishing, maybe even the dial layout, not just a straight copy of an old design.
Okay, let's get specific then. The case. It's cushion-shaped, 39 millimeter.
And pretty thin, 8.60 millimeter.
So that 39 millimeter is kind of a sweet spot, right? Versatile size.
Yeah, fits a lot of wrists well. And the cushion shape gives it that slightly retro, slightly distinct feel without being, overly vintage. The thinness really plays into the dress watch idea.
Needs to slip under a cuff easily.
Precisely. And what about the finishing? I see polished bevels, a coin edge mid-case, vertical brushing.
Yeah, it's a mix. Creates some visual interest, doesn't it? The polishing catches light, the brushing is more subtle, and that coin edge is a nice, refined detail.
Different textures playing together.
Right. Even the crown, it's a push-pull, cushion-shaped with their vintage logo, ties it all together.
Actual touches, too. Sapphire crystal, water resistance.
Yep. Flat sapphire with AR coating, so good visibility, and a 50 meters water resistance fine for daily wear, splashes, rain, that sort of thing.
Okay, moving inward to the dial. It's described as having a stamped guilloche-like pattern.
So like guilloche. Concentric lines creates a sense of depth and movement.
But stamped, not engine-turned.
Exactly. It gives you that textured look, that complexity. It probably helps keep the cost down compared to traditional guilloche. Adds a subtle sunray sheen, too, apparently.
Interesting. And it's got that small seconds at 9 o'clock. Asymmetrical.
Yeah, that's a choice. Breaks up the symmetry, adds a bit of character. The hour indices aren't applied either. They're engraved onto a stainless steel chapter ring.
Keeps it clean, integrated. What about colors?
Comes in dark gray, deep blue, and forest green. So some nice options there. Polished Dauphine hands finish it off.
All right, let's talk about the engine room. The CMM.20 caliber. It's a manufacturer movement, right? With a micro-rotor.
That's the big story here, I think. Designed and made in Morteau, France, working with Olivier Maury.
And the micro-rotor, what's the significance?
Well, it's integrated into the movement plate itself, rather than sitting on top like a full rotor. This helps make the whole movement, and therefore the watch, thinner.
Contributes to that 8.6 millimeter case height.
Precisely. Plus, you get a better view of the movement architecture. And this one's on ball bearings, which they say improves the winding efficiency.
Okay, specs. Beat rate, power reserve.
Pretty solid. 28,800 vibrations per hour. That's 4 hertz, so a nice, smooth seconds hand sweep. And a 70-hour power reserve.
Well, that's quite good. Weekend proof.
Definitely practical. And they regulate it to -3 to +7 seconds a day.
So near chronometer specs, even if not officially certified, impressive.
It is. And the finishing looks good, too. Rhodium-plated bridges, Côtes de Genève, but in a sunray pattern. Shows they care about the aesthetics inside, not just the performance.
Adds that touch of refinement you'd expect at this level.
And finally, the strap. Calfskin leather, contrast stitching.
Tapers down to a deployant clasp, looks like.
Yeah, 20 millimeters at the lugs. Seems like a standard, fairly elegant choice to match the watch. Comfortable and secure with the deployant.
So, putting it all together, what's the price point?
It's listed at EUR 1,990, taxes included.
Okay, so for an in-house micro-rotor movement, French-made, with that design, seems pretty competitive, actually.
I'd agree. It feels like Yema's really trying to offer something distinct here, blending that history, the specific design choices, and the CMM.20 movement.
It really does seem to hit that sweet spot between vintage inspiration and modern execution. That micro-rotor is key, I think.
Absolutely. It makes you think, doesn't it? They've focused on blending historical design inspiration with modern tech, like the micro-rotor. What other, maybe less obvious, historical watchmaking techniques or complications could potentially be reimagined for today's watches?
That's a great question. Beyond just aesthetics, maybe things like old clutch systems or specific escapement designs brought back with modern materials. Lots to consider in that dialogue between the past and future of watchmaking.